Yo, what's up guys, Goblin here, welcome to this new episode. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the best decks for the Double Evolution tournament, which just started 5 minutes ago. I'm going to show you guys a total amount of 3 decks, and with each deck, I'm going to play 2 matches. So let's start off by playing with this Hawk Quick Cycle deck, 2.6 average cost, really fun and really solid deck. See you guys soon with game number 1. Okay guys, hopping into game number 1 right away. So this actually deck I got to League 10 in this season with. It's a super fun and really, yeah, as I said, solid deck. I feel like you can pretty much outplay any matchup. The only matchup which might be really difficult would be like Lava Hound, but I actually remember beating Lava Hound decks. I remember beating Balloon decks just because of how much pressure you can apply, and you also have decent answers with the Firecracker, with the Mighty Miner Bomb and stuff like that. Okay, so we are playing, of course, in the first couple of wins of the global tournament. I would say that 9 of the 10 times you're gonna face mid-ladder player, not as great players, because as you just saw, he actually ended up missing his Tornado to activate the King Tower against the Hawk Rider. A decent player or even a top player would never, yeah, pretty much never miss that activation. Okay, we do have to watch out because even though he did miss the activation, he does have the Prince there. What I like about this deck is that the Mighty Miner now is super strong. So Mighty Miner went from basically not used at all in any deck to actually, yeah, seeing a lot of appearances in like meta decks, especially cycle type of decks. Okay, so looks like so far pretty good. Not sure what he's using. Be prepared for anything, guys. Like when you're gonna play the global tournament. Wait, what? The Hawk Rider almost somehow made it to the tower there. That was kind of a strange interaction. But what I wanted to say is that if you're gonna play the global tournament, especially the first couple of wins, please be careful. Like, you do not want to lose against this mid-ladder player. Like, for example, now look at the deck we're facing. But I feel like these type of players are even more like scary or even more annoying to face, because you don't really understand, or you don't really can expect what to expect. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but you don't really know. Okay, he's using this typical Hawk Cycle deck, he's using Lockbait, he's using, like, for example, now I still have no idea what cards he's missing. He could be perfectly, I don't know, for example, well, mid-ladder players usually have like Mega Knight. He could have, I don't know, like anything, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, be prepared and try to not be too aggressive, especially in the first couple of wins, because sometimes you might go aggressive with like a Hawk Rider. He pulls out the Elite Barbarians, you were not ready for it, and you just end up taking so much damage and might even lose the game because of that. So let's go with the Hawk Rider here. Let's go with the Firecracker at the bridge. It's the Evil Firecracker, by the way. I'm using Evil Firecracker and Evil Ice Spirit. I think everyone already saw that, but just in case you didn't notice yet. Okay, nice. Very good protection on the Firecracker. A good amount of damage as well with the Evil Firecracker. That's amazing. Let's go with the Hawk Rider in front, and let's go with the Earthquake as well. Nice. Looking very solid so far. So, in my opinion, after the balance changes, which happened a couple of days ago, Evil Skeletons, it's not like they're completely useless, but it's just so noticeable. Like, the nerf is very, very noticeable. In my opinion, best options are either like Firecracker, Ice Spirit, or potentially even the Cannon as well. Cannon Evolution is actually pretty decent right now as well. Okay, let's go with the Cannon up high. Let's go with the Hawk Rider here to tank for the Firecracker. Let's go with the Earthquake, and at this point, all we need to do really is just Spell Cycle. I believe that's, yeah, that's definitely one more Earthquake and one more Look. So let's go with the Ice Spirit. Let's, I guess, just pressure here with the Hawk Rider here. The Lightning saved up for some reason, and I guess that's, yeah, I was about to say, I guess that's now for sure gonna be a good game. He even tornadoes the Ice Spirit into the tower. So very nice win there. Honestly, a really strange deck by him, but as I said before, it's the first couple of wins. Expect the unexpected. Okay, let's go guys, hopping into game number 2. So as I just said, expect the unexpected. Honestly, expect anything, especially the first couple of wins. You could of course face a meta deck, you could of course face a good player, but what I noticed, especially from the past global tournaments, and you just saw this one, game number 1, 9 out of the 10 times you're gonna face some kind of, yeah, off meta deck. Okay, let's actually go with a Hawk Rider here. Mighty Miner should be able to take care of the Valkyrie. I'm gonna have the Earthquake ready in case he goes with a building. In this case, he goes with a Inferno Tower. We're not sure if the Hawk Rider stays alive. Okay, it does stay alive, but unfortunately it doesn't. Get a hit on top of the tower. I guess it's still fine. Earthquake most of the times, just to also get some tower damage, is a pretty decent play. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. Oh, he goes with Hawk Rider plus Goblin Barrel. Definitely kind of aggressive play by him. He does have a Zap, so the skeletons are gonna end up dying. Let's go with a Firecracker here, and I think I'm gonna go Hawk Rider in front of the Firecracker, knowing that he doesn't have Inferno Tower in cycle. He was still, now he does have it in cycle. Let's see if he uses it. No, looks like he doesn't. Looks like instead okay, he's actually gonna take the damage to an Earthquake. Do I not? Nah, I don't think I should. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that, keep the elixir, and then probably start from the back. So another thing, maybe some of you guys already know it. If you do, great. If you don't, when you cycle the Mighty Miner in the back or any champion, you can get a quicker cycle going. So what does that mean? Like, for example, Skeletons or Ice Spirit, maybe it's not the greatest example, but you can cycle multiple of them, right? a champion, you of course cannot cycle double Mighty Miner on the field. So that's why exactly you can get a quicker cycle when you cycle the champion. So I don't know how to explain it. I think everyone understands it. But basically when you have the Mighty Miner on the field, your cycle just becomes faster because you're like having one card less in your cycle, if that makes sense. Okay, let's actually wait a little bit. I'm not the best cycle right now. I think I'm just gonna leak some elixir, let the wizard die. I could have locked the wizard, but then we already know that he has we already know that he has the goblin barrel. So why would I waste the lock right there, knowing that he has a goblin barrel, knowing that I should basically keep my lock for the goblin barrel? Try to always think, okay, before he showed that he has a, let's say Hawk Rider, he showed that he has a goblin barrel. Try to always think about the card he already showed, and then try to afterwards, of course, make sure that you have a good answer in your cycle for that card. So we are going to take quite a bit of damage with the Dark Goblin, but honestly, I'm not too worried about taking the damage. I think we can perfectly afford taking some damage here. We can go with a Firecracker afterwards. Let's just go Firecracker like this, I think. And I think I'm going to cycle Skeletons as well. Probably going to go with a Hawk Rider towards the right side, just to make sure that the Wizard stays in that spot. And then the Firecracker might be able to splash on top of the Wizard and hopefully at the tower at the same time. Nice, let's go with a Mighty Miner up high. Firecracker is able to get a lot of damage on top of the tower on the right side, and it should pretty much be good game already. 36 HP left onto the right side tower. All we need to do here is just stay alive for 10 more seconds and then either lock or... okay, that Goblin Barrel is very... how do you say that? Very behind the tower, so let's just go with the Evil Eye Spirit, and then if anything we could also lock, but honestly it's not even necessary. So very nice wins. This Hawk Rider deck, I definitely recommend it. Really fun, really easy deck to play. See you guys soon with deck number 2. Okay guys, deck number 2 is a very strange, or very interesting at least, Royal Giant deck, because Royal Giant has always been paired with the Fisherman, and nowadays in the new meta for some reason a lot of people in the top leaderboard are using this deck. I guess it's mainly to do well against bait type of decks because it runs both the barbell and the arrows, but besides that it also just looks really solid. You have the Goblin Cage evolution, you have a quick cycle, Lumberjack got buffed, and the Baby Dragon got buffed recently, so I think that's also mainly why these two cards are included in this Royal Giant deck. I'm of course, as you guys just saw, 2-0 the double evolution tournament so far. Let's see if we can get a clean 6-0 in today's video. Hopefully we can get 2 wins with this Royal Giant deck now, and then 2 wins with the last deck. So by the way, there's not a specific order. Even though I showed the Hawk Rider deck first, it's not like, in my opinion, the Hawk Rider deck is the best deck. Of course, Hawk Rider is a really solid deck in my opinion, but it's basically up to you guys what fits your playstyle the most. Like if you say, okay, I'm a great beatdown player, maybe this Royal Giant deck is a great option for you. I'm a great cycle player, maybe you should be trying out the Hawk Rider deck. And then maybe even the third deck, which I'm gonna show afterwards, could fit you very well as well. So as you guys can see, Royal Giant level 12, by the way. I am using the Royal Chef in my opinion with with this deck. Royal Chef is amazing. Royal Giant, especially being able to have it level 12, level 13, as you guys can see right now, right here, is just amazing. Okay, so we are gonna already take his tower. Honestly, very aggressive Hawk Rider by him. And then here I'm gonna go with a Mega Minion just to cycle. And we have the Evil Cage ready if anything. But honestly, I think if he goes Hawk Rider, we might even be able to... Okay, let's go with arrows here. And I think I'm just gonna keep the elixir. Instead of overspending here on defense, which I think a lot of people would, for example, drop a Goblin Cage, would drop something there. I'm just gonna take the damage to focus on my push, and I'm pretty sure we should be able to 3-count this guy. Let's go with Electro Spirit here for potential Evil Skeletons. Looks like the Evil Skeletons do end up going down. Evil Skeletons, in my opinion, really right now are just not it. In my opinion, it's way better to use Evil Firecracker and Evil Ice Spirit, or Evil Firecracker and Evil Cannon. And so you can see, just like that, we're able to 3-count our first opponent with the Royal Giant deck. So, man, I don't know how or where this deck came from. Like, I don't know who made it, I don't know why. But this deck has been, as I said, dominating the top leaderboard. I've seen a lot of people playing with this deck on top ladder right now, having great success. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention it, but there's no Evil Dart Goblin, guys. Very important to kind of notice or know. There's no Evil Dart Goblin in this tournament, okay? Okay, let's in the meantime focus on the next match. Let's go with Barbell here onto the right side lane against those Spear Goblins. Let's, I guess, just cycle Goblin Cage. And I'm already seeing 2 spammy cards, which of course my deck, or, well, this Royal Giant deck, should do very well against, since we're running, as I said before, both the barbell and the what's it called, and the arrows. Okay, let's go with a Lumberjack here towards the left side. Let's wait and see what the opponent is gonna do to support the Giant Skeleton, or is he just gonna leave it like this? Okay, looks like he's just gonna leave it like that. I kind of want to go with a Royal Giant here at the bridge. Royal Giant, I feel like, should be a pretty decent play here because it's gonna rage up. And of course, we also have the Goblin Brawler still alive. So I feel like that's a great Royal Giant there, taking advantage of the rage from the Lumberjack. And as you guys can see, we're getting so much damage. onto the left side lane. I feel like now I'm just gonna ignore those wall breakers, to be honest. I mean, they are gonna get quite a lot of damage, but I feel like it's more important to use the barbell on top of the spear goblins and the archers, and then afterwards focus on, yeah, attack again. Even though here I am forced to use the baby dragon, I feel like those skeletons, if not, we're gonna get a lot of damage. And by the way, I think I also mentioned it before, but the baby dragon has gotten buffed recently in the balance changes. So baby dragon, I noticed it changed a little bit. It's not like a huge buff, which now it's gonna be like the best card in Clash Royale, but you do kind of notice the buff, yeah, to the baby dragon. Okay, let's go with the lumberjack behind the giant skeleton. I feel like the lumberjack should be able to DPS it down. We do need to be careful, I guess, just to make sure. Honestly, I am not sure if it would have or would not have made it to the tower, but I guess rather be safe than sorry, I think you say in English, right? Okay, let's go with barbell here towards the left side lane against the wall breakers, and honestly, we could just play full defense, but the strong thing about Royal Giant, whenever you take a tower, you can just place it here in the pocket, and it 9 out of 10 times gets like 2 or 3 hits at least, and sometimes even more. So I think what I'm gonna do here is go lumberjack, go with Royal Giant as well, and have the arrows ready in case he goes with, for example, archers or something. Looks like instead he goes with a skeleton armor, but of course it's the Royal Giant evolution, which in this case is just gonna destroy the skeleton. So let's go with arrows here, let's go with Electro Spirit onto the left side lane, and then I think, okay, I'm definitely gonna go with Goblin Cage here against the wall breakers. And honestly, yeah, as I said before, like, we can't just play defense, but I think it's also important to kind of keep under pressure. So let's go with a lumberjack here as well. Let's wait and see what the opponent is gonna do. Let's have, I guess, the baby dragon going into the right side lane. Goblin brother with the rage spell. Oh my god, that's actually crazy. Do you guys see how much damage it dealt to the... Okay, those wall breakers, I don't have to worry about it anymore because we have the Mega Minion. Let's go with a Royal Giant here, and let's go with arrows like this, hopefully catching a skeleton army as well. Oh my god, beautiful. Very beautiful arrows right there. That should be another crown for us. And in the global tournament, the crowns are actually pretty important. So if you guys can get another tower, if you guys can get that 3 crown, pretty important, especially if you're looking to win the exclusive emote. Why? Because in the top leaderboard, the tiebreaker is based on crowns. Like, for example, let's say, for example, here, like, I'm at 4 wins right now. Well, there's none of my friends in 4 wins as well. But you guys can see here, when you click on the number of wins, 3 wins, 18 crowns. 4 wins, 19 crowns. Like, you guys understand? Like, whoever has more crowns wins the tiebreaker. So see you guys soon with deck number 3. Okay guys, last deck of today's video is gonna be this Lockbait deck. I feel like Lockbait, especially with the recent ban changes, has gotten kind of nerfed quite a lot. Goblin Barrel, of course, now is very visible when the fake barrel is, for example, going to the left or to the right side tower. But besides that, I feel like Lockbait is still a very solid deck. Dagger Dashes has gotten buffed, and especially with this deck, it's very strong. So in my opinion, Lockbait, if you guys are a Lockbait player, if you guys like playing Lockbait, this is the deck to use in this global tournament. I remember that, or I remind you guys that the Evil Dart Goblin is not available, so try to just use the normal Dart Goblin, and I'm using the Evil Valk plus the Evil Barrel. As I said before, for me, at least in my opinion, the what's it called? The Dart Goblin, no, excuse me, the Evil Barrel is still good, but if you guys do want to end up using, okay, let's go with the Ice Spirit, let's go with the Valkyrie. If you guys do want to end up using, for example, Evil Wall Breakers, Evil Ice Spirit, of course, feel free to use it the way you want to use it. But in my opinion, the version we are using, as we are using it right now, is the best. Okay, we do need to be careful because this guy is very aggressive so far. He has Monk, he has Lock, he has Firecracker. Definitely not looking like an easy matchup, but let's see what we can do. What I love about this deck is that you have so many different ways to pressure, so many different options to get your damage. Often, of course, with the Goblin Barrel, but then you have the Wall Breakers. You can do some mini pushes with like Goblin Gang, Dart Goblin. Like, there's just a lot of different ways to pressure with this deck, and that's exactly why I like this Lockbait deck right now a little bit more over than, for example, the typical classic Lockbait deck. Especially with the recent balance changes, I feel like that deck has suffered quite a lot in the current meta. Okay, let's wait a little bit for the Valkyrie. Let's go with Valkyrie last second here to make sure that we get everything. In the meantime, he ignored the right side barrel, so that got a lot of damage, and I'm gonna go with Wall Breakers here as well. Nice, looking very good. Let's see where he used. Okay, he does use the Lock. Let's, I think, go with the Goblin Gang. He might go with like a Dart Goblin or something. So let's see if we can catch the Dart Goblin. Looks like instead, oh, he goes with a Freeze. Okay, let's go with a Princess here on the right side. Let's wait and see whatever the opponent is gonna do to counter that. He goes with a Dart Goblin, but we still managed to get a double connection with the what's it called? With the Princess. And let's then go with a Goblin Barrel. Normal barrel towards the right side. Why do I go with the normal barrel now towards the right side? I believe he doesn't have his lock-in cycle yet, so I think that should be, that should be kind of annoying. Always very important, guys, do never play the Goblin Barrel, the fake barrel especially, alone. Always try to combine it with, for example, an Ice Spirit, for example, some Wall Breakers at the bridge, Like, honestly, anything you have to combine it with, try to combine it with. So let's go with Evil Valkyrie here. I think the Evil Valkyrie should be able to deal with Hawk Rider plus the entire push pretty well. Evil Valkyrie Loki in some situations is actually very good, and it's not really an evolution you see a lot, but in my opinion, it's pretty solid. It's pretty fun to use, to be honest. Let's go with Goblin Barrel. Let's go with Wall Breakers here as well. Wall Breaker will, almost get a connection. Let's go with Princess, and I guess we can go with a Valkyrie here at the bridge as well. Nice, let's go with Valkyrie to block the Monk. And I think here we just need to, make sure that we stay alive. 20 more seconds, let's go with a cannon here. Cannon in this position is an anti-earthquake, anti-lightning spot, so very important to sometimes use that position. In this case, the opponent had a freeze. Very strange deck by him, but still a nice W for us. So let's actually try and get the double tower. As I said before, it's pretty important to try and get 2 crowns. Hopefully we can get it. Nice, that's always amazing, especially with a cycle type of deck like Lockbait. Getting multiple crowns is always a W. Okay guys, 5-0 so far. Hopefully we can get another W. Hopefully we can end today's video with a clean 6-0 so far. 2-0 with the Hawk Cycle, 2-0 with the Royal Giant deck, and now 1-0 with the Lockbait deck. Okay, let's see what this guy's gonna be running. Ooh, not the best Firecracker by him. I think we can maybe even use it to activate the King Tower as well. Let's go with the Ice Spirit right now, and I think I'm gonna have to cycle. I'm definitely gonna have to go with a cannon here as well, because the dagger dash, whenever it's out of ammo, whenever it's out of daggers, I guess we can say, it's just really not that great against beatdown units. So always try to make sure that you have, for example, the cannon helping out, Dart Goblin, Goblin Gang, whatever you can have to help out, try to take advantage of that. Nice. Okay, this guy is definitely not the best player defending wall breakers, because so far he's taken both the first wall breaker on the left side and then now the second wall breaker on the left side as well. So really good for us. Good amount of damage already. Let's go with the Ice Spirit here, and I think we are gonna maybe take 1 or 2 hits, but that's completely fine. We can afford taking, I guess in this case, only 1 hit. Okay, let's go with the Goblin Barrel towards the left side. I don't know why I feel like this guy, he's either lagging or he's just super slow with his responses. Like, do you guys notice how late he's placing his cards? Like, no disrespect to him, by the way, but I feel like he's placing the cards super slow, right? Or is it just me? Okay, anyways, let's set up a cannon here against the Goblin Stein. Let's go with the Valkyrie up high. He does end up using his log as well, and I think this might actually be a good game, guys. What does he have right now against the Valkyrie plus Goblin Gang push? Unless he has his own Valkyrie, unless he has another spell, he will not really be able to... Oh, okay. Wait a second, this guy actually low-key cooked right there with the Firecracker. That was an amazing Firecracker. I was not expecting his Firecracker to be able to deal with the entire Valkyrie plus Goblin Gang push, but that was low-key a really good Firecracker. Like, I was like, is this guy, like, he's responding so late, he's not playing that well, and then he pulls off the best Firecracker placement I've seen in a long time. Okay, anyways, let's let's focus on this defense right now. Let's see what he's gonna do to support the Evil Knight. Is he even gonna drop anything else? If not, I think I'm just gonna try and distract it with Wall Breakers, and then last second, a late Goblin Gang right here. Okay, he also has a Mega Knight. Man, another typical mid-laner deck. Like, I'm telling you guys, most of the times, the first couple of wins, but even if you already advance a little bit in the tournament, you will end up facing these type of players with just the craziest decks you have seen in a while. Okay, let's go with a Valkyrie like this. Let's then go with a Goblin Gang here up high, making sure that the Firecracker does end up going down. And then let's go with a Dark Goblin. Here's one that should be a very nice and easy defense. I would love to try and get the King Tower. Let's go with a Goblin Barrel now. Oh my god, the what's it called? The Skeleton Army got destroyed, and that should be a good game. As you guys can see, we have triple Princess. We had the Wall Breakers getting to the 3 crown. We had the 6 Goblins from the Evil Barrel connected to the King Tower. That's gonna be a very nice win to end today's video. So definitely these are my 3 recommendations for the tournament, guys. 6-0, very nice result. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna show you guys once again the decks. This is the Firecracker Hawk Rider deck I played in match number 1 and match number 2, match number 3 and match number 4 with the Royal Giant deck, and then match number 5 and number 6 with this Lockbait deck. So comment down below which one is your favorite. If you're gonna try one, let me know how it went. And as I said, that's gonna be it for me for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to smack the like button. If not subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.